I'm the Director of Security here at Crossroads. I've been here for about 15 years. I did 4 years in the military, 28 years with Cobb County Sheriff's Office. SWAT team leader, lieutenant, the whole 9 yards. Everything had to do with taking care of myself, taking care of me physically, taking care of my guys, taking care of strangers, complete strangers, for so many years. One of the things that I never learned how to do was to take care of myself mentally. There were areas of my life that I just kind of pushed back or pushed inside and kept bottled up that I never really dealt with. And I wanted to be the best at what I did, so I just continued to just drive forward and push those things down and just bottle them up and hide them from the world. In 2016, I was hit in my patrol car and basically broke my back. Ended up having a couple of major invasive back surgeries. What that did to me was it took away that identity. I couldn't go to the gym anymore, so I couldn't take care of myself physically anymore. I wasn't eating right, and I fell into some old bad habits. I started drinking again. Eventually, I found that I started moving away from the church as well. I started moving away from God. And I found myself in a bad place, and I lived there for a couple of years. And that brought me to a place that I wasn't happy with myself anymore. So I started coming up to see Pastor Greg and Pastor Corbin, and these guys would pray with me, and I'd feel better for a day or two, and then I would just slip right back into this place that I didn't like. I started seeing a psychiatrist and a counselor to try and help me deal with some of this stuff. And of course I was diagnosed with classic PTSD. I'm one of those people that I never felt like there was anything I couldn't face, anything I couldn't conquer. But I found myself in a really super bad place about a year ago. My marriage was crumbling, my relationship with my children was crumbling, friends, family. I just pushed everybody away and was hoping that this new course of action with medication and the doctors were going to help me deal with this and that I'd be okay again. Of course, that never happened. It never happened. In February of this year, I received word that one of my SWAT buddies, one of my brothers, he had taken his own life. And I've been around a lot of death and a lot of chaos and a lot of things, but for some reason this was different. I was an emotional wreck for a week. I had a job down in Savannah, Georgia, so I went down on a Friday night and spent the night in a hotel. First thing I did is I went to the bar. It was time to toast my buddy goodbye. Woke up Saturday morning bawling my eyes out and just couldn't get past this for anything. I called my wife and I told her, I said, I'm close to the ocean. I'm going to the ocean. So I drove down to Tybee Island, and I'm looking at the water, and the water is just rough and just chaotic, and waves going every different direction. Again, I found myself praying, and I was just praying to God to just fix me, God. It was finally revealed to me why this situation was affecting me so deeply. God reminded me that a year ago that I was ready to be finished with this life. And God is talking to me and telling me, Drew, there's a different way to deal with this, but you have to trust me and you have to give it to me. And I heard God tell me, go to the water. Again, I'm praying and I'm talking to God. I'm like, okay, God, I'm here. I did what you asked me to do. I'm at the water. What do you want me to do? And God told me, I want you to look down to the right, and there is a shell that's laying there. It's just a shallot shell, but it's broken. It's about half of the shell. It's just really in bad shape. So I hear, pick it up. Pick up the shell. So I picked this shell up, and God said, I want you to throw the brokenness of that shell into the ocean. Now I'm starting to understand what you're telling me, God. I'm broken. I know I'm broken. I've been broken for a long time. And the shell represents that brokenness. So I said, okay, God. So I threw it as far as I could out into that ocean. But God wasn't done that day. God said, I want you to look down to your left. And I looked down, and there's another shell, and it's a shallot shell. Shape, color, everything about this shell is just perfect. And God said, pick it up. And I finally, right then, I said, okay, God, now I completely understand what you're trying to do here. I can leave all of that hurt and that pain in that ocean. Does it mean my life is perfect? Absolutely not. From that moment, I haven't felt the weight of the world on my shoulders anymore. When I got into the truck, there was a song playing, and the name of that song is Scars. The lyrics say that I'm thankful for the scars because without them, I wouldn't know your heart. And it talks about waking up to a new day and living in confidence and seeing the world with new eyes. And I was blinded for so long. So I know now that that vehicle accident, what I thought was the end, was actually just a new beginning, a new chance, a new life. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget the feelings. I'll never forget God speaking to me. I asked for it, and man, He delivered.